I believe you guys can see me, not too far away. And so we're going to start in mountain pose, I think, today. And in that mountain pose, find your feet nice and against the earth plane, and open up your palms so that you're feeling really receptive here, and your shoulders can pull down, and just taking the chin as parallel as you can to the earth plane. And you can inviting you to close your eyes if you like, and inviting you to just come in contact with your breath. See how that's feeling today, how that's flowing in and out for you today. And as we're here and we're breathing, I'd like you to think about your feet again. Think about this year. We're about to end this 2020. Think about a place that your feet have taken you to. I know this year has been a time where we've felt a little bit confined and trapped, but maybe your feet have taken you somewhere you've never been before as well. Can come into gratitude for our feet and that experience that it brought to us. So we continue to feel in and out of our breath, down deep into the belly. Because our breath went along with us as well. And as we're standing here strong and proud in mountain pose, feeling that opening and closing of our breath space, I'm asking you to think about what you've stood for this year. Is there a certain value of yours or something that's come into your life that you had to make a decision about, that you stood firmly planted? Whatever that might have been. So firmly planted that you felt totally in control, totally balanced with that decision. And then let's go ahead and begin to take some action through our body, even though it's feeling pretty relaxed here in mountain. Even though mountain is a nice, strong, sturdy posture, it's also the place to come back to if you ever feel you need a rest in our standing place. Let's go ahead and bend into the knees. Take your arms around you and a hug right into your shoulder area. Pulling down on those shoulders. We did this yesterday a little bit in our chair class, letting your tailbone come behind you. Maybe squatting down a little bit more. Letting your chin rest towards your chest if you like. Looking down to see that we're in alignment with feet forward and knees moving forward. And then slowly pushing into our feet, rising up. Exhale, releasing our arms. Inhale, lifting up. Arms rise up. Exhale, hands come into heart. Center. With your breath. Take it on up. Exhale, bend into your knees, arms come around. Take that opposite hug into yourself. And think about who you've missed hugging this year. We've always been able to come in to hug ourselves, but who is it that we've really missed giving a hug to? And then pushing through your feet, rising up, inhale. And as you take your hands to your heart center, who is it that you've brought into your heart? Either physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Inhale, lift. And from here, let's take ourselves over to the right. Hip goes to the left. Let's come into this half moon position here. Have you taken time this year to gaze upon the beautiful moons that we've had? Or looking up into that grand conjuncture that we had last week and a half ago. Breathe in, inhale. And exhale to the other side. And we're taking time to enjoy the night sky. Right now we're in a full moon. No, it's chilly out there, especially there in New Mexico, not so much here. But we have a beautiful sky to gaze upon. Inhale here. And exhale one more time. Open up. Opening up that left side body. Let's consider about what we've opened up this year to. Because in all of the can'ts, there's always a way to find a can. And what did we open up ourselves to this year that maybe we wouldn't have normally? And inhale yourself up. And exhale, closing in on the left side, opening up the right side. What if we had to close ourselves to this year? What have we done to make sure we protected ourselves and others? Inhale, lift. Exhale, floating arms to the side, bend into your knees. And come into a chair pose. Knees bent, arms lift up high, fingers open up. Sitting down into that chair. Have we sat down consciously? Been sitting and reading books, maybe that we didn't have time to read before. Sitting down, writing, creating. Inhale, lift. Exhale, elbows pull down, let your heart come forward. Offering our hearts to ourselves and to others, one way or another. Maybe this is the first year we learned to Zoom. For me, it was. Coming into chair again, exhale down. Have we been able to sit in a chair, viewing through our devices, able to see another person or be with others in a way that maybe we have never been with them before? Being grateful for technology for once. Push down into your feet, lift up, inhale. Exhale, bend into your elbows, lift your heart forward, hips come forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands come down, slowly coming down. Opening up my feet now so that my toes are out and my heels are in. We're going to rise up with our arms. Inhale, nice, that looks beautiful. And we're going to exhale, we're going to plant here, bend into your knees. They stay out, your hands are at your heart center. And what have we planted this year? Maybe that's that actual planting of a seed or a tree or an herb or something. Or have we planted an idea that's bloomed? We've had time to think about things we haven't had time for, and actually, instead of just thinking about them, actually doing them. You know, being able to follow through on something. Press through your feet, lift up, inhale, legs lengthen. Exhale, come on down. Inhale, rise. Move with your breath. Taking this action and strengthening our legs. So we're going to feel nice and strong as we enter the new year. Pressing through hands, fingers into an isometric way. If you'd like, a little more there. But being connected with our breath. No matter if we're here in this moment, or as we take one step at a time forward into the future, maintaining that contact with our breath. Staying down here, nice and low. I'm gonna take my hands out, depending on your anatomy, where those hands may rest, or depending on how far apart your feet are. Find them resting and supporting so you can stay really straight in your spine, okay? And now I'm going to take one shoulder, my left shoulder forward, my right one back. Take a look over the back side there. And then coming back. What am I looking back on in this year? What did I learn? What did I find that I want to bring forward? Go ahead and come back forward. Forward into this next year. Let's take it up again, looking over that right shoulder, looking back and finding some pieces of some gifts that came our way. And we're going to release and bring them with us as we move forward. Push down into your feet, lift your arms, and then lengthen your legs. Come on up, inhale. And exhale, hands come out to the side. 5-pointed star here, really reaching out. Now I'm going to take my left foot and just bring the toes towards, your toes towards me, mine towards you. So the toes aren't out and the heel's not in anymore. And I'm going to take my opposite toes away from me. So I'm standing here in a nice straight arms and nice straight legs. I'm going to keep them straight, both arms and legs. And I'm just going to tilt over here. And my right hand comes to anything except for my knee. Don't press in on your knee, okay? And my other arm lengthens up. And I'm finding that nice length between one arm, one hand, and the other. And as I'm here, I'm breathing. And I'm considering about this year and what has kind of pulled me in one direction and pulled me in the other direction. And somewhere between all of that, I found strength, empowerment, endurance, balance. Found my way through all of that. And coming back to my breath always helps. Here's a good place, Harriet, or anybody else that has that block. If you are wanting a little more support there, to take that block. And when I say a little more support, doesn't mean it makes it easier. It means I can put more weight there than maybe I could when I have my hand on my own anatomy. You're able to hold the placement a little bit more. And then bringing ourselves up with this core strength here. Bring yourself up to straight. Taking a look, do we have our arms coming out at that shoulder height? And then this back arm is going to pull back. I'm going to still keep my legs straight. That back arm comes down, that back leg will wrap around you, and the upper arm comes up. And really feeling that openness in my heart, in my chest. Here I'm offering to the universe those parts and pieces of me that I'm ready to let go of from this year. So I can feel lighter and brighter as I enter this next year. And bringing myself up, inhale. Arm extends out. Now let's take that with a flow, okay? So here we are, this is our inhale. Exhale, we come over, lengthen. Inhale, takes you up through here. Exhale, hand down or around. Keep going at your own pace, making sure we get that good inhale in the center and not race into anything else here. Maybe taking that upper arm over a little bit more, if you like, when you come forward or when you come back. But it's all with breath, all with consciousness. Let's do one more set, please. This is a nice flow. It's not a power yoga where we're rushing through things. We're making sure we have beauty and grace, nice alignment here. We don't want to rush through life. I know sometimes we think this last year we wanted to rush through it, but it's best to be able to enjoy every moment because we only have so many. Let's take those front toes forward. Okay, so all toes now, forward and back into 5-pointed star. All toes towards me. And then I'm going to take my opposite foot and I'm going to take it away from me. Back foot is straight. And I'm on carpet. So how about you guys? If you practice on carpet, it's really can play with your balance a bit. So arms reach out nice and long here. And I'm going to take myself over to be in this static position here. And again, block is really nice. Or you find a nice comfortable place that you're not pressing too hard in on your own leg, okay? But again, those blocks are really nice for finding more stability and structure in your practice. And those blocks have different heights, okay? Right now mine's on the highest. I might hang out here a bit and eventually maybe think, okay, I'm ready to go a little lower. Still having that nice strong support. Keep that front hip, that top hip, pulling back just a bit too. Because as we come lower, that hip wants to come forward. Bring it back so it stays in line with the other one. Trying to keep your shoulders in line as well. Keeping this in a real static way for strengthening. Okay. But yet finding the ease in the pose as well. Pull in at the navel point. Help yourself lift up with this core strength here. Finding your extension on both sides. And then coming on back down, that back leg, opposite arm reaches up. Really finding that alignment or wrapping your arm around the backside of you into kind of a bind here. Really being supported evenly on both feet. Finding that length. The left side body. Pressing into the right side. One more big breath here. Pull in at the navel. Bring yourself up. Arms extend out. And let's take that, but not rushing, just with our breath, and take it in your speed. Okay, this is an exhale. Taking it up is our inhale. Bringing it back around. So go ahead with your own breath rhythm. Making sure maybe you need to put a little bend in that front knee just so you don't hyperextend, okay? You don't want that. And finding again where that stability is. Where we keep really good strength, endurance. Well-defined alignment. Finding more length and openness outside body. One more set here. And coming back up. Finding 5-pointed star, all toes facing you. And now we're going to come into, it's going to kind of look like what we did before, only we're going to have a more narrow base. So I want to turn my front toes, my right toes away from me. I'm going to maybe bring in that back leg just a little bit more, because here I want to have my hips forward, and we're going to be here in straight leg here, straight leg in the back. And we're going to go ahead on down. And here's a really good place. You have a chair to come onto the lower part of the chair. If you have blocks, to come in to blocks here. And I want to have my hips in alignment as much as I can. Back is flat. Nice pyramid pose is what we've created here. Okay, and I think you guys can see me. Mostly my head might be a little bit out of picture. Let me back up a little bit. So pyramid pose, both legs straight. And my back is flat. Okay, so this is my inhale. Exhale, bend into that front knee. That should feel good. And curl and tuck and round. Maybe your forehead comes towards that bent knee. And let's hold that. And I know that you're constricted in your breath. And while we're here, let's think about this last year and how and when we felt the most constricted. And how did we find our way out of that? What are we looking forward to really releasing this next year? And you know, all of us have some real similar ideas on that, but make it really personal for you. And then lengthen that front leg. Bring your head up. Find relief in your throat to breathe a little bit more here. Find that straight spine. Find your strength here. Structure and stability. And we're going to flow through that now. Okay, so this is my inhale. And this is my exhale. Bend, curl, tuck, and round. Inhale, pushing down through the blocks, or hands on a chair, or hands, if you're long enough, can come onto arms, if they're long enough, come onto the ground. Inhaling here. Trying to keep hips in alignment. Knowing that when we feel constricted, we come into our in-breath, and it brings us right out of it. One more here. A little flow. And coming up, let's go ahead and turn all toes forward. Walk your blocks forward or your hands forward on the ground if you are there. And maybe your blocks can lower because we're in a wide-legged forward fold here. And I've got my toes forward. I'm going to let my tailbone lift and come down lower with my head. Feel that in the back side of your legs. Really releasing there. And then push into my hands on the floor of blocks. Come into my straight spine, half lift here, Ardha Uttanasana, but with wide legs. And then bend into elbows. Let my head come down. Exhale, down. Pull in at your navel. Inhale, lift. Half lift, strong spine. Okay. That strength that's got us through this year. Bend into your elbows. Let your head come down. Exhale. Inhale, rising up. And exhale, releasing down. One more time, rising up. And now I'm going to take those blocks, if you're using them, or my hands, and I'm going to walk to the other side. Toes come out. The back foot comes in a little bit, finding that nice flat spine again so that I can be in this pyramid pose. Okay, and so it's pyramid because we've got strong base, right? A strong structure there. We got to have that for anything we build upon. We've got our spine nice and long and straight. And then I'm going to bend into that front knee and I'm going to curl and tuck and round and I'm going to hold myself there. Again, hands on blocks, any height, or hands on floor, or hands on a chair. I want you to really try to get your forehead and your knee to meet Janu Shavasana here. And yes, I know there's pressure there in our throat area, constriction. That's a good squeeze into the thyroid, which we all need for activation, more energy. This curl and tuck and round is really good for the spine as well. It lengthens that back leg. Push through your hands, whether they're grounded or on the blocks. Find that nice long spine, including your cervical spine, the neck. And from here, this is our inhale, lengthen, tailbone back, crown forward. And then exhale, curl and tuck and round into yourself and keep going with your flow, okay? As you curl and tuck and round, coming inside yourself. What have you discovered about yourself this year? Maybe the slowing down, things closing up a bit, have left us into a place where we could really dig deep, come in closer and find some things about ourselves in our attic, in our storage of our body that were revealed to us. Good, bad, or ugly, whatever they were, they came to light so that we now know we have something to look at, something to explore, or something to put back in storage. It's up to us, right? What we do with that. Let's do two more. And then coming back up. And let's walk ourselves back into the center. Blocks or no blocks. Hands can be on the ground, or they can use the blocks and let your head really come down here. Coming into this really deep forward fold. Exhale. Walk your hands forward. Think I have room to do this here. Come on forward into a wide-legged plank. Okay, so holding in at your core. Legs are wide, and then walk yourself back. Using this weight bearing on your arms. Exhale. Walk yourself forward. High on the balls of your feet. Find that strength in your core. Find the length in your spine. Okay? And walk yourself back. Exhale when you reach that point of that wide-legged opening, hands closest to you. Let's do that 2 more sets. Really coming out, finding my shoulders over my wrists, high on the balls of my feet, and keeping my hips in the same level as my spine, so they're not up or down, really trying to find that plank, okay? And then walk yourself back. Let yourself exhale when you come into the depth of the opening of the back side of your legs and your spine. And one more walk forward here. I'm going to stay here in this plank. I'm going to take my left hand more underneath my gaze. I'm going to come over. My heels are going to fall to the left. My right foot comes down all the way on the ground, and I reach my right arm up into this wide-legged, 3-limbed plank. Right foot again is all the way down. I'm on the ball of the left foot, but that left heel is outward. And then my right hand comes down. So some good weight bearing here. Right hand underneath my gaze. Taking those heels in the opposite direction. Left foot plants. Left arm lifts. Looking up if that feels right. Finding length in my spine here. Really long arm. Bringing myself back. And coming on backwards with my hands back towards my center. Really release. Inhale, half lift, blocks, hands or legs if you need. And one more time, come on down. And let's go ahead and walk ourselves. Hands towards the right. Right foot, toes turn forward. I'm on the ball of that back foot. I'm going to bend into the front knee. Okay. So I'm going to move a little bit so you guys can see me better. I have to be at an angle here. So take a look at my front knee. Knee and ankle in alignment here. High in the ball of my back foot. And I'm going to take my right hand to the inside of my right foot, all right? And then I'm going to lift my left arm up nice and high here. Okay. As I do, plant that left foot down. So it's all the way on the ground now instead of on the ball. And we're coming into a extended side angle here. Before we were working in triangle pose. Now we've got that knee bent. Knee on top of ankle. And then I'm going to take my left hand down, come back to the ball of my back foot. Staying with me on this. Keeping my left hand down, high in the ball of the back foot. Let my right arm come up. I'm really reaching up here. And right hand comes down. Onto the inside of that right foot. Back foot comes down. Left hand rises. Coming back into that side angle. Taking your upper arm over your head. Bicep by your ear. Arm lifts up. And both hands come down. Come on to the ball of that back foot. And bring your right foot back behind you. And press yourself into down dog. And again, I'm kind of in this weird angle, but it's working. So I'm in this angle, I'm in down dog here. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring my right foot forward, in between my hands. No, left foot forward, in between my hands. That's the opposite. Left knee over left ankle. And high on the ball of that back foot. Left hand comes to the inside of my left foot. My right hand comes up, lengthen here. And then let your back heel come down, opening up. Maybe looking up because you've got more balance now with that back foot rooted down. Reaching up. Imagine what we're reaching for in this new year. And then right hand comes down, left comes to the outside of the left foot. Come back onto the ball of that back foot. Okay. And then right hand takes the weight, left comes up. Reaching, looking, breathing. Going in these twists and turns. A lot we've taken this last year. There's more to come. That's about life, right? And I'm glad of it. And left hand comes down, back to the inside of your left foot. Take that right foot down again. Right arm lifts. Find your length between fingers, one hand and the other. And then if you like, taking that upper arm over so your bicep is close to your ear. Inhale, lifting that arm up. Exhale, that hand comes down. Left hand comes on back on the outside of the left foot, high on the ball of that back foot, left foot back. Find yourself in down dog here. And then let's go ahead and take our knees down to the ground. Find ourselves in a, let me fix all of this. Find ourselves in tabletop. And I think I can go like this. Good tabletop here. And let's take a cat-cow. We haven't done one today yet. So I've got my toes pulled in, and I'm on the balls of my back feet, and I'm gonna let my belly down. And let's just not take it into our cervical spine at all to begin with, okay? So let the belly drop, and then let the belly pull in. Pushing down through our hands. We'll see fingers, okay, so that we don't overdo underneath our wrists. We'll let that belly drop. So these are pelvic tilts, really, what we're doing, okay? Bringing it up. Letting ourselves come down. Inhale, let. Exhale, release. Feeling more release and more contraction. 2 more sets. Spreading out behind you when you release down. And then taking your pelvis and your spine in a neutral way. We're going to go ahead now and rock our hips right and left, okay? Because they do more than just tilting forward and backward. They do this nice movement where maybe some of you will be dancing the night away tomorrow night at midnight. I can't imagine any of us doing that, even at home. But maybe, and doing a little salsa here. Your hips are nicely lubricated for that with this. And then coming back to neutral, take some really small circles here in one direction. And take it around. Other way. And then reverse again. This time, let's make big circles. I'm gonna move away from the wall. My circles are gonna be so big. I'll hit up against the wall. Really let those hips go. Cleaning the batter out of the bowl. What are you guys making? Any special foods? I'm gonna make some almond flour, coconut oil, agave, dark chocolate, organic dark chocolate chip cookies today. And reversing with duck egg. Mine, Andrea, she subbed there at Vessel before. We've got a farm. She gave me a beautiful dozen duck eggs. Coming back into neutral here. Let's go ahead and take our right foot forward in between our hands, okay? Flatten out the back foot so that you're on the top of that back foot and rise up. Rise up with knee and ankle in alignment in the front and hip and knee alignment in the back. I'm going to lift up, inhale. And taking my hands together into a prayer position, I'm going to link over my thumbs. Inhale. Exhale, bend my hands so that they come to the base of my skull. And let my head rest there. Let my heart open. Let me feel that tricep opening there. Breathing. Heart open. Hips forward. Feels good. Coming up slowly, using my core strength. Lift up high, inhale. And now I'm going to do another curl tuck round, so really lengthen. This is called Salute to the Gods and Goddesses. I'm going to come in and begin to curl my chin to my chest. And I'm taking my fingers, directing them towards in front of my toes. And my forehead comes to my knee. And again, really pulling in here. Still working through. Any challenges? Think about this when we come into a challenge. And we just have to keep breathing through it. Think of all the challenges that you've faced this last year and how you've seen them through with strength, with beauty, with grace. Inhale here, lifting up. And exhale, hands to heart, elbows out. And again, let's just lift and tilt, chin up, heart up. Rising up, inhale. Lengthen, exhale, hands come down. Bring that front foot back, right knee back to left knee, left foot forward. Find your nice alignments here. And when you have the lower body aligned, go ahead and lift your upper body upward. Arms come up. Inhale here. And exhale. Take your hands, the opposite thumb over the other one. Lift up high. Lengthen through the side body. Bend your elbows, pressing your hands together. Feeling that opening on the underside of your arms, the tricep area. Go ahead and rest your head back. Let your heart lift. Feel that also in that front right hip flexor. Staying balanced and grounded here on your right shin. And the right upper part of your foot. Your left foot. That's what's grounded here. And then rising up, inhale. And being really long here. Let's go ahead and curl, tuck, round. Bring my forehead down towards my knee. It's a little hard with glasses on. Being able to empathize more. People with glasses, I don't have to wear them, but I can see you guys better when I have them on. Few breaths here. And then lifting up, inhale. Bringing the body up. And exhale, hands come into heart. And let the heart come upward. Push hands together if you like. Squeezing into that back, right glute especially. Finding stability. And then bringing yourself up. Inhale. Lengthen. And exhale. Hands come down. Right on either side of that front foot. Bring that front foot back. And let's open up our knees, toes together. Finding that position for Peaceful Warrior, where we'll not go into quite yet, but here we are. If this is a lot for you, okay, then sit on a block. That's going to relieve some of the knee, maybe exertion, or really nice here, taking a blanket, fold it up, and you sit back on that, okay? So find any of those places and always being very communicative with our joints, right? Our knees, our neck, our wrists, ankles, all of our body really. Let it communicate to us what its needs are. So I'm open like this. Hands are at heart center. Okay, we're going to just do a little more flowing, trying to make today's practice pretty active for us. Hands are here. And I'm going to shoot up, hands up, lift off my heel, lengthen through my side body, inhale. And exhale, bring myself down, but not quite onto my heels, okay? You want to feel that a little more into your thighs, okay? Inhale, lift, lengthen, feeling that through my belly. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. 2 more times. Lifting. Exhale. Maybe you feel like your hips are wanting to open up more too here. And coming down, letting your hands come on top of your thighs. And let's take a twist here before we take ourselves to the ground, really our backs to the ground. I'm going to take my right hand to my left toes and my left hand crosses onto my right knee, right thigh, somewhere nice and straight here. And then go ahead and take that twist, looking again into 2020. And what is it that I don't want to carry into 2021? Before we looked at what we do want to carry in, what are we letting go of? Say goodbye, blow it away, and send yourself back forward. Inhale. Exhale. And release and reverse. My right hand comes to my left leg, knee, left hand to right foot. And begin that twist. Looking back. Saying goodbye. Saying thank you. I learned something from you. Ready to release, ready to let go of you. Moving forward. Go ahead and release. Come back. And let's stretch out. Go ahead and stretch yourself out into that Peaceful Warrior where your hips now, you might say like, wow, I can really open up my hips more, maybe from that hip work we did. And then you might be able to lower yourself even more onto the ground. Forehead comes in contact with the ground. And hips are nice and open, toes are together. And release here, a few breaths. Good. And then we're going to go ahead, walk your hands back, bring your knees and legs, your inner legs together. And again, this is another one, maybe a blanket here or sit on a block, but we're going to come into a full Balasana pose here where it's that full child's pose. And I'm going to take my hands back. I'm going to curl in, tuck and round and bring my hairline, or maybe my crown, my head, or my forehead towards the ground. Very little, if any, weight there though. But feel how nice that is for your spine to curve in like that. But feel supported with your chest and your thighs. Deep breath here. Let your shoulders go. Let them release. Feel that visceral breath push in and down with your belly breath into your thighs. Let's do one and hold it there. Really inhale here, big. Hold it, a little bigger, a little holding, and then let go. Roll up here. Roll up slowly, one vertebrae coming and sitting on top of the other one. Really taking it very slow, especially with our neck and our head, till we come back up to seated. Seated in Virasana Hero's Pose. Now we're going to take ourselves back on our backs onto the mat, knees bent, okay? And if you have one of those blocks, that would be really nice to utilize today. So we want to just take ourselves into a really yin, restorative type pose. We're going to kind of combine both. So I'm taking my knees together so that they are just totally going to sustain one another. And then I'm going to take a block only if you have it and only if it feels good. And I'm going to lift my hips and place that block in a place that feels really juicy, really good and comfy. If it doesn't, don't use it, okay? All that's allowing is us to have a little bit more of a incline of our digestive organs. So they're not just always on each other, squashing down or squashing inward. Here, they're able to just release and go in a different direction a bit. Our chin is nicely tucked. There's no pressure in your neck area, okay, you guys? And if you like, you can just take and release the neck. Right and left a bit. And then coming into center, staying just where you are. Or if you'd like to also release those legs, you can let your one leg or both legs lift up on the block or not. And let there be a release there too. These legs have a lot of work to do to take us strongly into 2021. To let us gracefully leave 2020. So let's treat them well. Let's activate them and keep them strong. Let's stay walking and hiking, moving, yoga-ing, whatever that might be for you in your own personal life. And I'm going to bend my knees. Hold on. Block can still be there or not. I'm going to release one foot down to the ground. Take the other knee in towards my shoulder. And squeezing again into this intestines. And this digestive work is really going to help us get that caca out of us, all right? And that symbolic caca as well as the real stuff. Go ahead and let the right foot come down. Let the left one come in. So we're able, and willing and wanting to release it so it doesn't stagnate, right? And when I'm talking about it, I'm not just talking about, our real kaka. I'm talking about our emotional kaka as well, okay? And that kaka has a lot of other words. You can choose one. Really pulling in down. So we can find ourselves cleansed and releasing toxins, energetic toxins. Go ahead and release that block if you had one. Energetic toxins, spiritual toxins, physical toxins. And your knees can still rest upon each other if you remove that block. Just find yourself chin slightly tucked. Shoulders pull back a bit. A few breaths here. Good strong practice deserves a nice, well-deserved ending of a little rest here. I'm glad that there are a few people that are still willing, wanting, and able to do a stronger practice. And again, it can always be modified to less or more, depending if we're in our chairs or if we're on the ground. I'm proud of you ladies for taking on the challenge of a stronger practice. I'm going to come onto my left side or the side closest to whichever turns you towards me. Coming into just a bit of a feel here. Couple breaths. Maybe staying grounded if you'd like, and remaining and doing anything else that you might like. Or if you're ready to take yourself up, you can unclasp in Sukhasana, easy pose, or again, any other leg position pose that you like. Fire log, half lotus, full lotus, cow face pose, open legs. Have at it. Okay, you guys know there's so many options. So my heart honors the light within each of your hearts. Thank you for beaming it at me today. Hope you saw mine flickering your way as well. And from my shining heart to yours, many blessings.